This is my landmap presentation. For my assignment, I've chosen 4 territories within Ontario that have special me and who I am today. They include Guelph, Peterborough, Barrie, and Thunder Bay. To start, Guelph played a huge role in my life and shaping who I am as a person. I grew up in a farm town about a half-hour north of Guelph. I had a great upbringing and loved where I lived. I decided to do my undergrad degree at University of Guelph because of the beautiful campus and my love for the city. I associate Guelph with the first time I was ever truly independent from my parents. When I think about Guelph, it is an overwhelmingly positive feeling. I love that city. Now that I've explained Guelph's significance to me, it's important to explain its Indigenous roots. Traditionally, Guelph was the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. The treaty that covers Guelph is the Upper Canada Treaty No. 3 in 1792. The land was purchased by the British in 1784. This picture on the slide shows the municipal boundaries within the Upper Canada Treaty, showing the different purchases. It started long before European contact, and the history of Guelph dates back to the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Iroquois, and Métis people. The city of Guelph recognizes its Indigenous history in a few ways. The university acknowledges it resides on the ancestral land of the Attawandaron people and the treaty lands and territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit. The university itself has an Aboriginal Resource Center where it aims to help any Indigenous student, and the City of Guelph Council begins every meeting with a territorial acknowledgement. Secondly, I chose Peterborough. Peterborough has a newfound significance to me. I've just recently moved here to attend college. I think this place will leave a lasting mark on me because I'm hoping this is where I'll pinpoint starting my career. Peterborough accounts for the present-day part of my life and shaping who I am right now and what kind of helping professional I will turn out to be. Peterborough has a rich Indigenous history that came long before the city we know now. It is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Mississauga. The treaty that covers Peterborough is the Williams Treaty. There are many different First Nations that make up this treaty. This picture shows the area the Williams Treaty covers. There is also the Rice Lake Treaty No. 20. The Chippewa Nation signed over the land. They signed the treaty in exchange for an annual payment. However, Treaty 20 was never officially signed and has now been in court proceedings since 2008. It was not until 2012 that the Anishinaabe people got their hunting and fishing rights back. The post-secondary institutions of Peterborough acknowledge they are situated on Mississauga's land and the territory covered by the Williams Treaty. Trent University has incorporated traditional Indigenous teaching. It was also the first university in all of North America to create a program around Indigenous studies. There's also the Peterborough Canoe Museum, the Petroglyphs Provincial Park. There, the art left behind by the Algonquins is still very visible. These sacred depictions of turtles, snakes, birds, and people are the largest known collection of rock art in Canada. Thirdly, I chose Barrie because my family's cabin is on the western arm of Lake Simcoe, right outside of Barrie. I spent many summers there with my grandparents and cousins, and I think it's there that I established a strong value of family and close relationships with my grandparents that I still hold dear today. Barrie falls within the traditional territory of the Iroquois, Ojibwe, Chippewa, and the Anishinaabe. This land is covered under Upper Canada Treaty, specifically the Lake Simcoe Treaty No. 16. The picture on the slide shows the Iroquois Confederacy flag. The flag represents the Hiawatha Wampum Belt. The belt is comprised of 38 rows, having a heart as a green tree in the center. As a great tree, in the center. On either side, there are 2 squares. All are connected with the heart by white rows of wampum. The belt is the emblem of unity among the 5 nations. Georgian College acknowledges its Indigenous heritage. when it marked the inaugural Treaties Recognition Week in 2016, they unveiled a plaque acknowledging the territory that the campus resides on. Georgian also offers many Indigenous services and programs since 1992. They show a college-wide effort to further infuse Indigenous ideas into all of their studies and practices within the campus. My final territory I chose is Thunder Bay. I never had any real desire to travel to Thunder Bay until my best friend moved there in 2009. She had convinced me to visit, and after that first trip, I was hooked. This was the place of many of my first outdoor activity experiences too. I've always been a little squeamish around heights, and this is where I first walked across a suspended bridge in Nipigon Valley and went ziplining for the first time. I tried dragon boat racing and learned how to fish here. I learned to cross-country ski and snowshoe. I associate Thunder Bay with where I started to pay attention to nature and become connected to the environment around me. This is also where I learned to travel within our country instead of without. The treaty that covers Thunder Bay is the Robinson-Superior Treaty. The land is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. The Fort William Reserve was created here in 1853. This was also one of the original signatories to the Robinson-Superior Treaty of 1850. Fort William is huge as the land extends the north shore of Lake Superior to the height of land separating the Great Lakes watershed from the Arctic watershed, which you can see in the picture I've included on this slide. Within Thunder Bay, there are many, many organizations that are specific to Indigenous people. On the slide, I've listed quite a few. The one that sticks out to me is the Aboriginal Affairs and Northern Development of Canada. Within this organization, they're responsible for making sure the federal governments meet all of the promises that they have made to the First Nations. Lakehead University also acknowledges it's on Robinson-Superior Treaty territory, and it's the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. We must remember not just our individual significance of these places, but the historical significance of the land and people that came long before us. Acknowledging territory shows recognition and respect for Aboriginal people. It is the recognition of their presence in the past, right now, and in the future. Recognition and respect are essential elements of establishing healthy reciprocal relations. These relationships are key to reconciliation. Although recognizing the Indigenous history is a good first step, it's important to reach out to open pathways for dialogue and education. This assignment has broadened my cultural lens. Before this class, I had never really given any thought to territories behind the areas that are important to me. It showed that education is key to a further understanding. Now that I've been exposed to this, and with more research, I can go into more depth with my cultural competency. And here are my resources I used. Thank you for letting me share.